Hello, my name is Jacob Beauchamp, and in this video I'm going to be walking through some of the specifics of my database's final project. As we can see here, in this directory we have several files. Not all of these will be present in the application package because some of these are just sort of leftover gibberish from the development process. The main ones that you will need are the darscheck.py, the database update.py, deployment.db, faculty and advising center.htm for any of the DARS reports you'd like to check, and the parsedars.py. So the main ones for the application itself are the darscheck.py, which is dependent on the parsedars.py. So this project is it works using the DARS reports that the Ohio University system uses to tell if students are on track for their degrees. This application helps the student navigate that and advises them whether certain requirements have not yet been met, and it allows them to look up courses and whatever is required for those specific requirements, as well as giving them the option to request suggestions on courses based on the next semester and the requested hours that they're going to be doing. So to launch this, we just use Python 3, and we can give the program the DARS report one of two ways. We can either do it via the command line here as an argument, or we can do it in the program itself, which if I don't do it here, we can see it prompts the user. And you can just type it in. And there we go. It brings us to the menu. I can alternatively just pass it in as an argument like so. And same menu. So the first function, we click that. It checks all of the statuses of the requirements and outputs them to the user. In addition, when the program runs for the first time, or not necessarily for the first time, but anytime it boots up, it checks the DARS report that the user entered, and it automatically sort of checks the statuses and takes this appraisal, but silently, and mostly for internal uses later. This one, of course, is more useful to the user directly because it tells us outright what the status of the requirements are. As we can see, for me, most of the requirements are done. The only ones that aren't are the computer science requirement and the computer science tech electives requirement. The next function we have in this is we can enter the name of a requirement that we want to learn about. So let's take a look at, say, the computer science requirement. Let's see what I'm missing. Upon entering that, we get a bit of information. We get the name of the requirement, whether it's complete or not, in this case not complete, the required hours for that requirement, as well as a listing of all of the courses with their respective information. In addition, I've prefixed all of this information with a neat little plus or minus sign that indicates whether the course has been taken or not. As we can see, the only course I am currently missing is Software Design and Development 2. If we use another example, let's take, for instance, the core curriculum. As we can see, it's a much smaller requirement. It is currently complete, required hours 0.5, and it only has one course. If we want to look up a specific course, we can use option 3, and we can search the course one of two ways. We may either use the course code, as in, say, CS 2400, or the respective official name, such as Introduction to Computer Science 1. So I'll demonstrate both of these really quick. If I do CS 4561 to see the course that I'm currently missing here, we get all of the information that we get up here and then a little bit more specific. We get the course code, the official course name, credit hours, semester offered, as well as a listing of any requirements that it satisfies and prerequisites for that course. Now, let's demonstrate. If I type in software design, and let me make sure I am actually entering it right. Design and development 2. We can see that gives the exact same information. The next function is to see all of the classes that are still needed by the user. At least this doesn't generate all classes, because you can finish for instance, the tech electives only requires 9 credit hours, but there's at least, I would say, 20 plus credit hours worth of courses you can take there. So it doesn't suggest courses from requirements that you've already satisfied, or it doesn't list them here. Instead, it goes through and lists requirement. In this case, computer science requirement is not, it requires 1 or more of the following classes to be completed. And as we can see, it suggests software design and development 2 once again. Similarly, the computer science technical electives requires 1 or more of the following classes to be complete. And since this one isn't complete, it lists all the respective courses that I haven't yet completed in that requirement. If I had that requirement done, as I mentioned, none of those would show up. As we can see, none of the courses from any of the other requirements are present here. The last function is to recommend classes to take. For this, it prompts the user to enter F or S based on what the next semester is going to be. In the current case, we'll do F since it's currently the spring semester. And it also requests that we enter the number of credit hours we would like it to fill. I'll just enter 20 for pretty large boundary. And as we can see, it suggested 3 courses for us: Computation Theory, Parallel Computing 1, and Interactive Computer Graphics. Worth noting that is only 9 credit hours as the total reads out, but this takes into account factors such as availability via prerequisites and the semester. So these must have been the only courses that are available during the fall semester, or that we have all the prerequisites for. Now, on the other hand, if we try the spring semester with the same credit hour boundary, we can see that we get quite a few more suggestions. We get internet engineering, software design and development, problem solving with bioinformatics tools, data communications, operating systems 2, and artificial intelligence, for a total of 19 credit hours, which is clearly much closer to our intended goal. The way that this makes its suggestions is based off of just a standard greedy algorithm, where it sorts based on the number of credit hours a course provides, and essentially tries to get as many credit hours as it can to fill that quota specified. Anyway, without any further ado, that is all of the main functionalities of this program. Oh, actually, one just occurred to me. One little bonus feature that's more just not an individual unique feature, but just something that's worth noting. I did manage to use parameterization on any of the queries that use user input. So as we can see, if I wanted to be a bit mischievous here, we can enter the code or official name of a course I'd like to learn about. Let's learn about CS 2400, but with a bit of a twist. Let's be mean. Select star from course, which is one of our tables. As we can see, it just rejects that as invalid input. Anyway, I hope this was enough to give you a good idea of all of the features that this application provides. And with that, have a good day.